Hello, everyone. So, in the next 15 minutes, we are going to talk about how Trello enables work-life integration. And yes, you've heard all of the cheesy terms about work-life balance. I'm going to tell you why work-life integration is different. So, I'm giving this talk later today live with Mike, who is my Trello homie, my teammate in action here. But right now, I'm just practicing, and it's just me. So, I will try to fill both of our shoes. But my name is Brittany Joyner, and I am obsessed with Trello. I've been using it for over a decade for work projects, personal projects, and just generally keeping my life in order. I created a YouTube channel and a newsletter where I share content about Trello, and I even wrote a book about it. And you'll be able to come by the booth if you'd like to get a copy and get it signed. But yeah, I just love helping folks get the most out of Trello. And I've dabbled around with the other Atlassian tools like Confluence and Jira and Loom and various things, and I've just found a world where they all work together nicely and have their own purposes. So, kick us off from here. Let us dive in. So, we're kicking this off in an interactive way here. So, think about a normal working day for you, from the moment you wake to the moment you go to sleep. Think about everything you have to do for your work projects, the meetings you have to attend, the live tasks you have to squeeze in, all the different things that amount to your day hour by hour, minute by minute. How many places would you have to check to get those things done? To work out what you actually need to happen today, what kind of things are you going to need to check and look through? It's a lot, right? And most companies give you a single tool to track what's going on in your workflow, right? So they're like, here, you've got Jira. Everything fits nicely into a Jira issue. And they think that your to-do list is just simply your issues that are assigned to you. So if you can see your team's project and see your own tasks on there, then you're all set. But that's part of it, but that's really not the entire story, is it? Let's be honest. Here's what our days actually look like. Sure, there's that Jira ticket we're meant to be working on. But even aside from that, you're getting people ready for school, you're pre-gaming a meeting, you've got the actual meeting itself, you've got somebody requesting reports for you on the side, you've got to take the dog to the bed, you've got to remember your grocery list for meal planning and stuff later, you've got to book a flight for a trip, all of these different sort of things. And it doesn't fit nicely in Jira. It's not just a simple, here it is in an issue, just look at my Jira projects for the day and I'm good to go. So it's exhausting trying to jump between all of those things that we just went through and, trying to see, okay, well, what do I have on deck? What do I need to do for the kids? What do I need to do for work? What do I need to do for this meeting? When does all of that fit in? And that's why I think for me, when I learned about the idea of work-life integration, it actually really resonated with me because it's not the idea of being on for these things all the time, but it's just realizing that you're never exactly off, especially from the personal side of things. Like, it's not like you nicely close the door and open up your Jira projects and you have nothing going on in your personal life. You have nothing outside of that specific Jira issue that you're trying to work on. It's never that simple. And so the idea of bringing these things together is what I think actually makes the most sense. What if instead of trying to separate them, we make them work together and have a very realistic view of what's actually sitting on our plate, and nothing is then slipping through the cracks because we didn't check the right tool at the right time. 89% of respondents say that teammates that organize their tasks are the most productive. And it felt a little silly to include this at first because it sounds kind of duh, right? But how many of us are actually good at organizing our tasks? Right? Exactly. It's a little bit of a struggle. And so if you can think about times you've worked with coworkers who are disorganized, it affects them, it affects you, it affects your team. You're kind of only able to ever move as fast as that person. And so by being able to have each person on your team effectively working in their flow, it's going to reap great benefits for you, them, and your whole entire team and ripple out throughout your company. Trello's always been my go-to tool for keeping all of these things organized and for staying on top of everything, but they've actually just released some new features that make this even easier now. Ready, I'll play this video for you. I just realized Loom may not capture this sound. So I'll talk over it for you, for those watching in the Loom, so you get the voiceover. I'm trying to get something done, and then this happens. With the new Trello inbox, I can take a breath and handle them all one by one. I can forward this email to inbox and let Atlassian AI parse it and add it to my inbox. I can save this message in Slack and Atlassian AI can parse it and send that to my inbox. That hallway conversation about the marketing presentation being postponed can be added via Siri. Once I have it all in my inbox, the new Trello planner can help me plan time to get it all done. And just like that, I can get everything done without getting overwhelmed. So yeah, that is pretty exciting, huh? Oh, hang on. Yeah, there we go. All right. So now that's a nice video, very great. But what does that actually look like for the rest of us? What does that mean? What are some real life use cases? How do we actually use all of these new flashy things to get more done and seamlessly integrate things and just become more productive? Let's take a look at a few examples and real life use cases, and I bet you're going to relate to at least one of them. So first of all, we've got the business owner, right? The business owner who needs to work on the business. And this is just a struggle because you're constantly getting pulled in all of these different directions. And it's easy to be very reactive to the things that are happening and the different problems that are going on. But you need to actually make sure you're spending time in your business. You need to be thinking and prioritizing about the things that are longer term, but never feel most important in today's work. So you're getting sucked in with meetings, you're getting sucked in with these different requests, and you're always on call. But if you're never actually making time to plan for the longer term strategies, plan to grow the business, plan to build out these systems that make things more scalable so you're not always reactive, then you're just going to constantly be in this stage. And it's important to actually put these things on a calendar, drag these tasks that you need to work on into a planner, into a focus block view. So you say, here's today, I know I've got these meetings. I know I'm going to have this kind of stuff pop up, but I also know that I need to work on these specific tasks that are not going to feel important, but I have time for them and I can make time for them. And yes, life happens. You're going to have to move things out of the way, but you can easily drag and drop to adjust and move them. And I find that works better than not having a plan at all and just waiting until you're bored to go see what you've got to do. Another great use case is the marketing manager or any sort of team leader who's just wearing all of the hats. And so Trello's new features with card mirroring really help you be able to get a solidified view of all the things that you're doing. In my experience working in marketing, I was wearing all kind of hats. I'm working with all sorts of different teams. I'm working with sales. I'm working with product. I'm working with, all of the different teams. I've got my freelance bloggers over here making content. And you never just operate in one board. And I used to try to encourage people to do that as much as I could. I was like, just keep it all in one board and use filters, but that's not always realistic. And thankfully now we don't have to do that because there's a lot of improvements to Trello that make that even easier to do. So mirrored cards being the best one. It lets you bring things together from different boards to have one single view of all that's going on your plate without you needing to set up any logic for syncing things back and forth. So for instance, I actually have an automation on boards that I'm part of where when I'm added to a card, it creates a mirrored card on my personal board. So that's a great way for those boards to each remain intact and whoever's on those teams be able to see what's going on, bird's eye view of everything. But I also have a separate view of everything that's on my plate. When I update that card from my board, it's going to update over there. I don't have to worry about setting up any syncing because it's all really the same card under the hood, just a nice mirror. And my MacBook is going to die. Let me pause. And we're back. Okay, so yeah. And next, we are talking about the distributed developer. So this is, even if you're not a developer, this can be really relevant to us that we're all trying to keep track of things in different places. Some of you may be working in Jira, and that's why a lot of us are here. And common to popular, contrary, I guess, to popular belief, I do not think that everyone should stop using Jira to start using Trello. In fact, I actually think they both serve great purposes, and new features like adding in this Jira list is a great way to combine things and bring them together so that you can get the best of both worlds. So with the new Jira list feature, you can just click add from on your board and where you're creating a list, and you can basically sync over issues from Jira. So you can say, based on certain criteria, what issues you want to see. And then you can create a list of those issues and then interact with them like they're Trello cards. But you can also update the status and do different things from within your Trello boards. You don't even have to go over to Jira. And all of these changes are exciting, but they can be a little bit overwhelming as well. And figuring out how to incorporate it in your workflows can be a lot. And I recommend heading to the Atlassian community if you have not already, because that is a great place to get all of the help and support that you need. It's a great place for you to post questions and say, here's what I'm trying to do. How do I do this? Why is this not working? How do I do something different here? And I actually would very strongly encourage you to join over there. And even if you just want to lurk and read stuff, it's going to be super valuable for you. So I encourage you to check that out. And also, Mike and I are here to help. So I actually have a weekly newsletter that is where you are watching this video right now, probably. And I also have a YouTube channel that you can view content that I create about all sorts of things on Trello. I make tutorials, and I love to get ideas from users about what to share there. And Mike offers consulting as well to help you actually build out these workflows. So this is where I will pause for questions. If you are watching this recording and you have questions, you know how to reach me. Just send me an email or comment on the Substack post or wherever you're watching this. And I would love to hear your questions. I'm always happy to answer them, and I will get back to them. But yeah, this is again something very specific for the conference, so some of this is more relevant than others, but I encourage you, if you're watching this, to check out these codes. We have TrelloCon happening on Thursday, so if you are in the LA area, you want to come hang out with this. It's going to be a Trello party from 3 to 7 at Newport Beach, and you can scan that QR code to RSVP and get a link. If you are a team, there's another breakout session on Thursday. Great time to learn more about these new features in Trello. And if you're looking to supercharge your Trello journey, scan this QR code in the top right here. Sendboard's actually put together a really cool guide of the best power-ups and how to layer those on and really take things to the next level there. And then lastly, join the Trello Trailblazers if you haven't already. It is our Atlassian community chapter that is dedicated to all things Trello, all things Atlassian Trello, specifically like making sure you're getting the most out of Trello, making sure you're growing and doing everything you need to do there. So we would love to have you there. And yeah, thank you for watching my practice run of this talk, and hope to see you at the live talk if you're here. And if not, again, please comment with your questions, and would love to chat about it.